Hey guys, it's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a quick update of my personal journey. As of late, I've been taking a little bit of time off to integrate some healing that I had. I had a session with a wonderful practitioner of quantum healing hypnosis therapy. And we actually did a services exchange where I did a Reiki session for her and she did a QHHT session for me. And it was really quite intense, both of them. And there's a soul connection between the two of us. So that's why we were drawn together to work together. So it was pretty interesting what came forward in her Reiki session and then what came forward in my QHHT session. So it was a lot of very intense past life and childhood trauma coming forward in my session in particular. And I've been needing to take some time to integrate, to process, and to heal after that very, very intense awakening. So there's been a lot of purging. There's been a lot of stuff coming up as it relates to family. And that's not just in my own experience, but from what I've heard from others after answering emails. There's been a lot of karmic purging as it relates to family dynamics and ancestral lineage, as well as a lot of purging, a lot of karmic purging. So if you've been having some particularly intense stuff come up as it relates to anything in those areas, then you are definitely not alone, and I am right there with you. And I do apologize for my absence on YouTube as of late, but that was definitely something that I needed to do to provide myself with the tools that I needed to continue to move forward. And sometimes you really just need space. You need to be able to allow yourself to integrate, to process, and to heal. And I thankfully had synchronistically or coincidentally, my mom was actually planning to come and visit me right after I had this session. So it was really good to have her here physically for the support as she does live in a different province. So it was nice to have her come and stay with me and to support me in my healing, whether or not she was consciously aware of it or I actually didn't tell her what the healing was about, but she was still here holding space for me, and that's what matters most. So I just wanted to share why I've been absent for the past week or so, and I will be opening my books back up to take clients for Reiki sessions and readings. I did need to take that time off to be able to heal. I want to be the best and clearest vessel of Reiki energy that I can for my sessions and for my clients. And so that really does mean that I have to do the self-work as well. And it can be very difficult and very trying to dig up all of these past hurts and these past lives and this childhood trauma and have to look at it and deal with it and all of the other effects that the repression of it has resulted in. So working on my physical, mental, and emotional health. And my mom actually brought me 2 amazing books, which I've already powered through one of them and I'm on to the second. And she brought me The Self-Care for the Self-Aware by Dave Markowitz. And it's a really small book, very quick read, but I highly recommend it as it is a guide for highly sensitive people, empaths, intuitives, and healers, of which I am. And I very much resonated with a lot of what he was saying and a lot of the tools that he gives you to be able to let go of a lot of the responsibility for other people's healing and the empathy, which is taking on other people's issues and then harboring them within yourself, which is not serving you or the other person. So this has really helped me exactly in this moment with what I've been going through in my own personal healing, as well as moving forward how I work with my clients. And the other book that she gave me was another book about highly sensitive people. And this one is The Highly Sensitive Person, How to Thrive When the World Overwhelms You by Elaine and Aron, Ph.D. And this one's a national bestseller, and I've just started it, but already I'm really into it. I'm only on the foreword, but she's talking a lot about the scientific studies as it relates to highly sensitive people and the associations between anxiety and depression in highly sensitive people, as well as the production of more serotonin and more joy in highly sensitive people. So it can go either way depending on what we focus on and what we integrate. So I highly recommend those two books, and I thank my mom for bringing me them. She's very intuitive and highly empathic herself, and so we very much click, her and I, and I'm so grateful for her in my life and that I chose to descend and be born through her. And that was actually an interesting thing that came up in my QHHT session. I was shown my past life as a Pleiadian, and after I'd left, they showed me leaving the planet, saying goodbye to all my friends there on the planet, and embarking on my journey to Earth. And I left alone in a spaceship, and this spaceship was actually not really a spaceship. It was my construction of a spaceship through thought, through consciousness. So I saw it as very, it was like liquid metal, and it was all around me, and it was just one room as far as I could tell. And there was this sort of wall of glass, or sort of like a liquid glass in front of me with all of these buttons, and that's how I was controlling it. But I wasn't touching anything. I was controlling it through thought and intention. And then this liquid metal that was all around me as the ship, I could feel it. It was me. It was also this like protective barrier. And when I got to the atmosphere of Earth, I stopped, and I was kind of just sitting up there above Earth for a minute. And then all of a sudden the ship shrunk down, and it encased my body. And in this life, I was a Pleiadian, so I was very tall, slim, blonde, long blonde hair, big eyes, small nose, and a smaller mouth. Very human looking, but you could tell like there was some differences, and very radiant, very, very white, pale skin. And I had, I think, big blue eyes. So this ship enclosed around me, and it just became like this shield, this barrier. And then I got smaller and smaller within the ship until I was a point of light. And then that point of light, where it shot from the atmosphere down into my mother's womb, and that's how I was born. So pretty crazy stuff. That was one of the really, really cool parts of the session. That was not trauma related. That was just really awesome thing to remember. And being back on the Pleiadian planet was really cool, and seeing they had really amazing architecture. It was like this big dome type, almost like this Gothic architecture, but made of this weird material that I can't quite put my finger on. It was like this sort of purple translucent cathedral over top of the town square that we were in, saying goodbye. And yeah, there was all these like really weird houses. I really don't know how to describe it. I wish that I could show you guys, like play you back this memory that came forward. But yeah, it was just really cool, and the connections that were made there, and the people and the souls that are still with me from that life as my guides. I reconnected with them as well. One more than I'd already been aware of. I was already aware of one of my Pleiadian guides, and another one came in and showed me that they were with me the whole time. So really cool stuff, pretty intense stuff as well. But you know what? That's just part of the healing process. So if you guys are experiencing anything that's this intense as well, I'm right there with you. And know that we're holding space for each other as we move through this period. There has been a lot of really intense energy. There has been a lot of spikes in the Schumann resonance and geomagnetic storms, which I haven't been reporting on because I was taking time off, but you probably felt them. I definitely felt them. And this is actually assisting us in the intense healing that we're going through. So that's it for today. I'm going to jump back on again soon, and I'm going to try and complete the monthly tarot readings for the horoscopes. I got half of them done like way earlier in the month. Actually, it was probably at the end of August. And then this all happened and I wasn't able to complete the other half. So I'm going to try and get those done and get them out by the end of the month. That way, at least you can kind of look at them and see how the month played out. It's not in this case a prediction, but rather, retroactively looking back and seeing how everything played out and the guidance from the cards. So hopefully that's still going to be beneficial to you guys. I think that it will be, because I do that sometimes on my own. I'll go and look at other tarot readers' videos and predictions for the month and then watch them at the end to see the context of how everything played out. So I will have those up by the end of the month at the very latest. And then next month we'll be back on track, back on schedule, hopefully with all of this healing being integrated. But already I'm feeling a lot better, remotivated, reinvigorated. I feel the sense of the dust settling after that very intense healing, and being able to now see again clearly. So there was a minute there where I really just had to sit down and let everything come up and then let it settle. So now that I can see, now that it's settling, I can start to move forward again. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. And Jana, thank you for reaching out and checking and making sure that I'm okay. And to the other people who emailed me to check up on me and make sure that everything was all right. I love you. I appreciate you so much. And I'm looking forward to continuing to make videos and to interact in this wonderful community. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.